Hi, it's Morag Gamble and welcome to our Permaculture Life. Today I wanted to show you about Tamarillo or tree tomato. It is actually of the tomato family and it's a 2 to 3 metre shrub which grows in a subtropical garden or a warm temperate garden. It grows at kind of the mid layer, so I really love to use it as a shade tree on my vegetable garden. So here in particular, where I am in southeast Queensland, in summertime the vegetable garden just gets way too hot and it's very hard to grow things. So by having a mid-story of something like this fast-growing Tamarillo, I can have a crop on the top and also I can have other things growing underneath it. And even some of the more sensitive greens that flourish in that partial shade in these hot days can really just thrive. So what is a Tamarillo? Well, a Tamarillo this is a small one. We've been in drought lately, so ours are just kind of small. You can get them up to about 10 centimetres long. There's a whole lot of different sort of cultivars. But inside, I chopped one up. And so inside, it looks a little bit like a tomato, and you can eat it a little bit like a tomato. The only difference being that you don't eat the skin, because the skin's a bit bitter. So, wow, it's amazing. It's like so you eat all of that bit. So I just quartered it, and eating it fresh is one of the best ways. It's kind of a little bit like a cross between a guava, a passion fruit, a kiwi fruit, and a tomato, I think. It's really lovely, bold flavours. But there's so many uses that you can use these for, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But I thought I'd start by talking a little bit about how to grow it and where to grow it. So, like I said before, if you live in a subtropical or a warm temperate climate, it's a good one to grow. It will survive a light frost after it's established, so really looking to get places where you can get it going where it's not actually going to get frosted. Once it's established, it can handle a little bit of a hard winter, and it will drop its leaves and then come back again. Once it's dropped its leaves, it's good to give it a bit of a trim back, otherwise it can get a bit leggy, and once it gets so many fruits on it, it can actually snap if it's too long. So keep it managed and think about it as being like a canopy, an umbrella for your vegetable gardens. So grow it in full sun. And how do you harvest the fruit? Well, you watch to see when the whole fruit, pretty much all the way around, is red or orange in colour. Not that it's still got a green rim around it. If it's still green, it's not going to ripen anymore, and it's just going to be really not very pleasant to eat. I mean, it will be edible, but it won't be nice. So they don't keep ripening once you've harvested them. So I've been waiting for these to be ready, and now I've got a whole collection. So what can you do? You can eat them fresh, you can eat them on salads, you can add them as toppings to things like pizzas, you can toss them into stir fries. I like to add them into things like a gato. You can make purees, you can add them to smoothies, you can add them to all different sorts of sweets and baking products that you're making at home. So they can pretty much go into anything, sweet or savoury, which makes them such a versatile fruit and a very easy fruit to grow. They have quite a thick skin, so I find that really nothing ever bothers them or eats them, and the plant itself always stays very healthy. To take the skin off, if you're wanting to store them and freeze them, what you need to do is to plunge your fruit into hot water for about 30 seconds, take it out and then plunge it into ice water, and then the skin will just slip off, and then you can freeze them if you've got an abundance and you want to make purees and all sorts of things out of it later on. Now, how to propagate this? Well, you can slice it up and get the seeds out from inside. When it's ripe, the seeds will propagate from here. So that's one way of doing it. But again, a really much easier way to do it is to take a cutting. And so simply taking a section of the plant with a bit of a section on the bottom, and I would take off these young fruits here, snip that off, take off any leaves like this, any flowering sections, and maybe one more, and then just stick that into the ground, half in, half out, and there's another Tamarillo. So you can actually create a whole section of Tamarillos as an umbrella across your garden, or a Tamarillo as a mid-story in your food forest, or Tamarillos in pots on your veranda. Like I said, it's such a versatile plant and so delicious and completely underrated, I think, in warm climates. So I encourage you to dive into the world of Tamarillos and to experiment with how you can use them in your cooking. It's a fabulous warm warm season fruit. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Tamarillos or tree tomatoes. Don't forget to subscribe to our Permaculture Life YouTube channel, and also to head across to the Our Permaculture Life blog, where there's lots more information, over 400 articles about permaculture related things. I'll put the link down below for that. Okay, catch you next time. Bye.